Motrimis mama la capre.
Previously on
Let's get it on. And look at this. Look at our wife 2.0. She brought a horse friend with her, a horse master that will teach us how to ride, hopefully, on horses. And I just realized I sent the wrong woman. Your diplomat has been wounded. We slapped your, as is our way, we slapped your lover. And riots at the capital. We are no longer starving. So if we take a king, we will starve again. Well, let's look at the political situation. We are still overlooked. Might have something with us throwing our queen off the edge of our holiest mountain. We still have the love of the racists and the crazies. The Cold War continues. Can't afford the hit to... Yeah, that's work, but I will ignore that because I have more important things to do. Might just do one of them Winter Wars.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
And welcome to an exciting new episode of Let's Get It On. And this is the end of the Cold War and the start of the Winter War, the actual war. We have finally attacked the Revishchi after planning to attack them for like more than a year. And the map that we got is the light forested area on our borders. And as you can see, it's hardly ideal for how I like to do my fighting. I really like to use my archer units, my range units to concentrate on specific units and devastate them. So we are trying to find a nice clearing and fight there. But that annoying enemy, King Elixio, the brainiac, the mastermind who sent the Illyrians after us, of course, doesn't budge. He is deep in his forest. Most of his units are totally unknown and unseen to us. All we know that he has like 9 units of swords, something like that. I don't even remember. It's an astronomical number. And we have mostly spears, so might not go exactly how we want. So he is basically forcing us to come to somewhere else. So here I'm slowly scouting to see exactly what he has. Actually using the princelings as a scouting cavalry, as they are. So we are eventually forced to totally abandon our position here and move here-ish at the borders of the map, and try to engage them here. Problem is, I don't know if you can see, but it is snowing, and snow makes you not recover so much stamina after you rest. So we are basically forced to march during the snow and only then fight, which isn't ideal for us. Just look at the enemy. Most of them are actual soldiers who can use swords. Just look how many swords he has. Oh my god. The main objective of this winter war is, I guess, to continue the Balkan tradition of if your nation doesn't have enough money, invade a neighbor and plunder his riches. So yeah, we are supposed to capture most of them and ransom them back to themselves, earning a nice purse in the meanwhile. But looking at this army, we might have beaten on more than we can chew. Well, after almost 10 minutes of real life marching, we finally arrived at our final destination in this lovely clearing. And our formation is more or less the same jagged formation for the generations, only this time we have learned, we have evolved, and we have stationed one cavalry, Kostico, on one flank, just in case the enemy comes with their own cavalry, so we won't get, like last time, left without any answers to enemy cavalry. And our main cavalry force will try to make contact with the enemy, trying to budge them from their defensive position. Because the last thing I want is to try and march uphill and then have to deal with their archers. I much prefer them to come to me and slowly come over the zenith and then get some nice softening range missile fire to soften them up. And it seems that our plan has worked. The enemy is slowly coming towards us, and one of their cavalry is trying to engage. I don't think they see all of our units, only 2 of them. So we can't really blame them for literally doing their job. They are, luckily for us, very light shock cavalry. At least that's their official designation. Maybe King Elixir should have invested in more scout cavalry, so he won't get into this kind of situation, sending his cavalry to get outflanked and outmaneuvered by 3 opposing enemy regiments. I was banking on this conflict to end very quickly, but it kind of dragged on a bit annoying. To their credit, the Celts fought very bravely. At this point, we spotted the enemy king. Now, here I made a split decision. I sent the 2 main regiments of cavalry to go help the main army in the main war, and I kept just the King's Guard, just the King's unit. Logic saying that first the king got promoted. He is now a bruiser and a brawler, so his actual unit is supposed to do a lot of damage. And these, I don't know if you can notice, these are supposed to be naked men, official designation of naked skirmishers. So the only defense they have against any type of weapon in terms of armor, except for their shields, is I don't know, hope and belief and body paint. So who would you bet that will win this engagement? Heavily armed, heavily trained, experienced King's Guard unit, or naked man in the snow? My money and my logic would be that the cavalry will win, and we will. This would be the main decapitation of the whole enemy army, where King Illyrio, the mastermind of the Breuci, will die in one fell move, one fell discharge, and and we will win swiftly after this.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Now at this point I'm still hopeful, because still this is a general's unit, so okay, they won't melt in the first couple of seconds, but I mean, cavalry is just supposed to trample over archer units, and this is technically an archer unit, even though they have a bit more going for them. But it just never happened. Eventually, Tarbus decided to break contact and try to circle charge into them, forgetting that they're an archer unit. Not only that, they have pilums that not just tickle like arrows or pebbles, they actually hurt a lot, and we are losing more and more men while trying to reposition into another charge. Actually, I think at this point the king just lost too many men and became very skittish into even approaching that gag. Oh no, he still had some cojones into trying to charge into naked men. I should just never underestimate naked Celts. They are just crazy people who should be taken seriously. No, he didn't have the cojones. Because at this point the king lost almost half his men. so he is a bit skittish towards the enemy king. And welcome to the main battle. We have forced the Revizchi into battle in the opening, and they answered the call. I was banking on a wonderful decapitation of their naked skirmisher enemy general, and that blew up in our faces. So now we have to deal with a horde of swordsmen. Now at this point the AI kind of impressed me. I don't know if you can see, but he's trying to aggressively flank us with at least 2 units, or maybe even 4. But what they don't know is that the forest has eyes, racist little Potulatense eyes, and they are about to get a nasty surprise. We have the Potulatense and some youths here, and this is the enemy main flanking force.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I guess the ambushers didn't expect to be the ambushee, but c'est la vie! And after that marvelous surprise that we had for the Revizchi on the left flank, let's see what we had in store for the Revizchi on the right flank. The enemy is sending cavalry to try and harass us. But look at this. Here we have a nice volley of pilums from a unit of spear, and lots of pilums. Let's just say that. So at least half the unit is already dead, and then they have to deal with Kostico, heavy cav. Needless to say, this went chef's kiss. The only problem is that the rest of the army. Yes, but this was handled muy buen. Now we are mostly just taking fire with our Malva line until we move some other forces to assist them. This is a unit of DeI, so some kind of Peltas unit, and our swordmen will try to engage with them. But then we saw this unit. I think this is one, probably another sword unit, because most of their armies are just swordsmen. And we are trying to do an interesting maneuver to try with Kostico to catch the Peltas, while we are assisting our swords against their swords with a unit of with our own youths. So in theory it should go fairly well. Here we are taking the blunt of another charge, and this is not so good for us. Here it's going well, but here we had one of those moments. Look at this. This is the edge of the map. From here there's an invisible barrier, and everybody is shoving their face into it for some unknown reason. Eventually I did cut on and try to reposition them, but yeah, welcome to Rome 2. Only shows how much they actually elevated this game, because this was common. This was common occurrence during vanilla. And here Kostico is introducing a unit of Peltas to the tip of his sword and spears. So lovely. He is chasing them off the field of battle as if they were butter. Who comes to war in winter wearing just pants? I guess we do. And now we have freed Kostico to answer even more calls. I think this is another unit of Peltas, and they will suffer the same fate. On the front themselves we are not doing so well, because the enemy has swords and we for the most part have spears, and swords are better than spears. The only thing we have going for us is that our archers can position themselves in on an angle to try and shoot the enemy. But as you can see, we are struggling on all fronts. Luckily we did manage to deal with the cavalry here, despite doing the major mistakes with our king, and the cavalry came and started rear charging, And of course here, after we dealt with the enemy ambush, the Poturatense have come to the rescue, and they are really the enemy just can't deal with them despite having swords, because we have longer swords. And here we are bringing those units of youths that was helping the Poturatense to try and deal with these units. What is this? What is this? These are Celts LARPing as Greeks. Some kind of a really silly formation that we know nothing about. They're standing close to each other with spears and long with big shields and long spears. It doesn't seem to go that well for them, because we are pillowing them to oblivion. They had the two of those professional soldiers, one of which was here and here. No, yes, it was this. Anyway, it was here, and they mowed the lawn with one of our units until, yeah, look at them. If they are positioning well, yeah, look here, they are really doing a number on us. At least when they are fighting like man to man with some kind of formation. We are, of course, want to test their metal, so the Poturatense came to teach them a lesson. How dare you abandon the barbarian ways to try and fight like civilized people? No, we should have none of this. Here is a forks to the head to remind you of where you came from. And slowly but surely, with lots of maneuvering, because this was really touch and go in the middle. Not to mention that the enemy king really pinned us down everywhere. Where is he even? Here, yeah. It's this, yeah. I guess all the actual naked men died, and the ones with the shirt kept surviving. Because we kept rotating into him, charging, then going back, because they just refused to die. They refused to die and refused to break. I really hate. I should stop underestimating naked men. For some reason, I assume they. And look at our king, our poor king. How many men does he have now? 38 out of 100. Ouch! But this was. He almost died. And this is the start of the Winter War, with our monarch almost paying the price for instigating it. I guess that is what we deserve. At this point, I think the battle is won, but not officially. They are still straggling somewhere. There are points of resistance. Yeah, these men are just in shock. Did we win? Let's catch our breath, because all of this is during winter, after we march for more than half the map, just to get ourselves in a nice position. And here we are at one of our saddest victory parade, in front of some of our slain enemies, because this was just an unmitigated disaster. The only positive out of this is that we at least killed the professional ReShade army. I bet and I hope they won't be able to afford to hire so many swordsmen, or to recruit so many swordsmen anytime soon. Yeah, other than that, we lost too many people for the first leg of this winter war, because this would be just the first encounter. The other army that the ReShade have, the Stonecrows, the army that is mocking us by naming themselves after the heroic defenders of Segundum, they still exist, and they are a full stack, and God knows what they have. And that army was the army that actually beat the Apulii, so they should have some experience. This was supposed to be a warm-up for the main course, and we almost lost our king. Other than our tactical genius, nothing went well for us. What was supposed to be an easy engagement, just something to supplement our lack of income during winter, turned into the almost death of our king. And of course we will ransom them. 1533. Well, at least more monies than losses. And of course, Dabro, пожаловать на показ чисел. Welcome to the showing of the numbers, because we might as well start talking Russian by the way that we are handling this winter war. We lost 1,129, almost a third of our army in the first engagement of this war. Oopsie. Oopsie. Look at our king, almost dead. He is basically in the next fight, which will happen imminently, because I'm sure the Revishti will pounce on us with the stone crows. Because anyway, it's during winter, we can't even go back to our own lands, so we will probably just stay here and raid, because we need the monies. This was the main reason to attack them, because we needed money. So yeah, he is out of the next battle. He will only be like a pillar of influence, I guess, to try and keep our main line. If they have again something like this, like 9 sword units, we are in deep doo-doo. Let's look at the actual numbers. I guess Kostico single-handedly saved the right flank, killing 549. He didn't even chase that much. He did just a heroic performance. And the Putulatense with 450, but we are used to this kind of performance by them, I guess. They really saved the right flank. And other than that, look at our archers. 225 and 233 kills on archers against men with shields. The enemy didn't even have one unit without shields, so this was heroic performance. Look at the slings, they only did 99, so just wow. Same with the peltas, with our youths, barely losing any units and really 200 kills. This is something that the X-Men should have, and the X-Men only have 144. The Sikas, I guess that in the war between the Sikas and the X-Men are just worth it. Even if we have to pay them a bit more, so we might switch back to more X-Men instead of Sikas. Our main line, we basically lost a third of it, and it's a shame. The Xenoscam existed. They were there. They did. We lost less of them relatively than we lost our elite cavalry, the King's Guard. So this is a good performance, I guess, by them. They even outlived one of our main Malva line. So all in all, a disaster. So here we are. I guess we should move the spy a bit closer. Just stand near the bridge, pretend you are a fisherman, and spy on the Stone Crows. And the Stone Crows are somewhat less formidable than, first of all, they're not a full stack, which is, thank God. Thank Zalmoxis. And they still have 2 townsfolk. I really don't know how you can even recruit these. These are supposed to be only garrison unit, but who knows. So they have somewhat of an army. Only 3 sword units, but 2 horsemen. I guess 4 sword units, because they have 1 proper sword units, and a whole lot of chaff. Actually 5 sword units. Oof. And we don't have as much. Now we can go back to our land, but it won't help us because it's winter and we probably won't be able to replenish. Especially since Segundo is not doing so well. We are actually losing our own population in favor of more and more foreigners, which is a pain. So I guess we will just have to keep raiding them, even though it gives us a bit of a malus, because we really need the monies. Now let's do live the best part of the game. And of course, 1 eternity later, and Oof, our army is not at its best, and they have a big advantage. So hopefully I'll catch you in the next exciting episode of Let's Get It On, where our main army gets obliterated. Who knows?